today's video, I'm going to share with you how I was able to lose 3 dress sizes in 3.5 months and why I feel like this is the perfect solution for me to keep that weight off and live my best life after 50. If that sounds like something you're interested in, stick around. We're about to get right into it. Hello, I am Mona. This is About Face with Mona, the channel geared towards everything for living your best life over 50. Many of us have the holidays approaching and we're maybe overindulging at the holiday season, and come New Year's we're going to be ready to get some of that weight off. Well, I have already started my journey and I am well on my way. In fact, I only want to lose 5 or 10 more pounds, and so my friend Lady MC, who has a channel here on YouTube, had done a video on intermittent fasting and her journey through it, and it made me think, that's really what I've been doing since August 30th. I just wasn't calling it that. So I thought this won't be a real scientific deep dive into intermittent fasting. It'll be an overview of my experience, how it's worked for me, what my results have been, how I feel, and then if you're interested in a deeper dive into the science behind it, we'll have a part 2. So let's just start with the fact that on August 29th, Hurricane Ida hit my little town. And if this is content that you're interested in, consider joining my family. Hit the subscribe button, click the notification bell, and give it a thumbs up if you like the content. It tells me that this is things that you're interested in hearing and wouldn't mind hearing more about. This channel is taking a little bit of a deviation from what I've been doing in the past, and I think that it's going to be some really engaging topics that you may really enjoy. So getting back to the story, on August 29th, Hurricane Ida unfortunately hit South Louisiana as a Category 4 hurricane. It hit the river parishes and the bayou parishes of Louisiana really hard. When I woke up on August 30th, I had no power, I had no refrigeration, I had no stove, I had no running water. I had none of the amenities that I'm used to having and used to living with. And there was a lot of stress because there was a lot of destruction everywhere. I could see neighbors' homes destroyed, some worse than others. But everybody around here's lives had been impacted, and life was not normal by any means. So I couldn't just grab a meal, and my stomach frankly didn't want a meal because I was filled with anxiety. So we went through those first couple of weeks basically with wonderful neighbors dropping by with a meal, my son bringing a meal, a church dropping off a meal. Basically, we were just eating during a narrow window of the day, which is what intermittent fasting is. I didn't even realize that's what I was doing, right? When that meal would come, we'd eat. The rest of the time, we weren't. That went on for about a couple of weeks. So during that time, I would eat during a 6 to 8 hour window of time, and the rest of the day, the rest of the 24-hour period, I wouldn't ingest any food. Therefore, I was intermittent fasting, because what intermittent fasting is, it's choosing to have no food intake during a portion of the day and then having a food intake portion during another part of the day. You can adjust the times that you want to do intermittent fasting to meet your lifestyle. It is very flexible. I think it's easiest if you start with the time that you're sleeping. You don't get up for that midnight snack or that 2 a.m. snack if you get up. You just fast during the night. So let's just say you sleep 7 to 8 hours. You're fasting during that time already, and then you tack on a couple of hours in the morning and a couple of hours before you go to bed. And then you eat the rest of the time. So let's just say, for an example, for me, it's easiest to start fasting at about 6 p.m. I usually eat a little bit early. My husband goes to work early. He gets off early. Dinner's usually early. And then stop. I don't eat anything again until mid-morning, 10, depending on the day. I try to do fasting from like 6 p.m. to like 10 a.m. the next morning. So what started off by accident has turned out to be a habit that I've kept. Because after that initial 2 weeks, there's no more hunger. So this is just my experience. Now, once again, remember, I am not a doctor. I am a registered nurse. I'm not a dietitian. I don't have any expertise in dieting. I don't know if this is the right plan for you. You need to talk to your doctor before you start any new diet plan. Especially with intermittent fasting, there are medical contraindications that would make this not the right plan for you. But for many, many women, especially hitting menopause, we struggle with weight loss. I have been little, I've been big, I've been every size in between. About a year before Hurricane Ida, I had picked up 3 sizes and I was kind of maintaining those sizes. It was an okay weight. It wasn't really big. It wasn't as big as I've been some days, but it wasn't my happy size either. And so dropping the weight since August has been a real gift. I am the smallest that I've been since I was 28 years old, and I'm 51 now. At 28, I had just had my 3rd child, my last child, my baby boy, and I had started working out at the gym to get a little residual pregnancy weight off. I didn't have a whole lot. I was in pretty good shape then, but I was working out 5-6 days a week at the gym. I was really hardcore watching what I ate, and I was probably in the best shape of my life, physically and weight-wise. I still have a little bit to go on the physical side, working out, increasing my activity, building some more muscle strength. But as far as weight-wise, I am almost at that weight. I would like to lose 5 to 10 more pounds. My family thinks that I've reached a point that's enough. My son said the other day, "Mom, I think you need to stop losing weight." I haven't heard that in so many years. So it feels good, but it's not about appearance as much as it is the confidence that comes with being a certain size and not feeling like you're bigger than everybody else in the room. And it's also about the energy that it gives you and the ability to keep up with your more in shape, smaller family and friend counterparts so that you can participate fully in life. The average woman today lives to be in her 80s. Unfortunately, in my family, that doesn't seem to be the case at all. Most everybody in my family dies young. Now, last week I buried my dad's first cousin, Ruby. She was very special to my family. She lived to be in her 80s and she lived a good, long life. But that's the exception rather than the rule. I want to be around. I want to be around for a good long time. I want to be around to see my children grow up into full, happy, healthy, productive adults, really thriving in their lives, hopefully with some grandchildren. And I want to be able to give my wisdom, and I want to be able to live more fully than I did in the first half. First half of life, you're busy making a career in many instances. You're in the rat race. It's just stepping forward, 1 foot at a time, just to get to the next day. And you're not always being present. I missed so many things because I was just trying to get ready for tomorrow. Trying to make sure the diaper bags were packed, trying to make sure the kids' homework was done, trying to make sure everything ironed, everything cooked, the kitchen clean, just busy, too busy to be in the moment and recognize all of the special things and moments that were passing me by. I don't want that in my second half. I want my second half to be my best half. I want to live a quantity of life. I want to live to be the oldest that I can be with quality. This channel is taking a little bit of a steer in a different direction. I'm still going to talk about makeup sometimes. I'm still going to talk about skincare. I'm going to talk about all the things that help us be able to live our best life after 40, after 50, after 60, after 70. As long as we're alive, we have a chance to make each day better than the day that we lived before. And I want that for me, and I want that for you. And so I'm hoping that you will not mind the sway in the journey. I am feeling really good with the weight loss. I am excited to share this with you. If you're interested, like I said, in the science, let me know. Basically, I've lost any cravings and hunger during the times that I'm fasting or not eating, and the time that I'm eating in is plenty enough. I could probably decrease that window to 4 to 6 hours at this point, but 8 hours is good. I would recommend that you start slow and you incrementally increase the time that you're fasting. Start off with 8 hours of fasting, increase to 10 hours of fasting, then 12 hours of fasting, then 16. I wouldn't sweat any mistakes. It's not really a mistake. I wouldn't sweat any time that you deviate from course, because it's about quality and living our best life. So if you have a special event, a family function, you want to participate, eat, even if it's outside of your window. Maybe adjust your window that day, or just eat regular. And then the next day, if you're comfortable, once you get to that point where you're really not having those hunger hormones trigger you to say eat, then fast the whole day. I may take a 24-hour day when people are not around. Maybe my husband's hunting on the weekend and my son's hunting on the weekend. I may take that Saturday or Sunday and I just may fast the whole day. I'm not hurting myself in any way. I'm not sluggish. I'm not tired. I have more energy than I've ever had, and I feel good. I think that this is just the easiest way that I've ever lost weight ever, and I've tried them all. You name the diet, I've done it. This is easy. There's no hard and fast restrictions during the time that you are eating, your non-fasting period of time. Of course, the healthier that you eat during that time, the better you're going to feel, because what we put into our body does impact the way that our body feels and the way that our body performs, how healthy it is. Obviously, if you put in junk, you get junk out. If you put in healthier things, you get better results. But I wouldn't even start with the focus on there. I would start just with the eating times and the eating restrictions. And then gradually, as you adjust to that and you're not having all of those cravings because you're used to that time that you're fasting, then you start replacing some of the things that are not healthy with more healthy choices. And you can just do that one item at a time. It doesn't have to be drastic. This is a lifestyle change. It's not drastic. It's easy for me and it makes me feel good. I love that I don't have the brain fog. I love that during the times of fasting, my body is going first to my liver to get that energy that it needs, and then it's going to my fat stores and it's pulling from there. So that's helping the weight drop quickly. There's also some science about insulin and how it helps with that and your glycemic index. I'd love to explain that for any of you who are interested, but it does get a little complex. The bottom line is that it works. The primary reason I believe that it works is because you're decreasing your calorie intake by limiting the window in which you're eating. No matter what you're eating during that time, most likely, unless you're binging, you're reducing your calorie intake. But secondly, it also does affect your insulin and your glycemic index, and it does cause you to pull from fat storage. If you're always eating, then you're using up the calories that you're ingesting rather than calories and fat that's in storage. So that's the second principle. Those are the two key takeaways, just to really make it simple to understand. This is effective for me. It's been effective. I'm 3 sizes smaller, and I may be going down 1 more. If you've tried intermittent fasting, if you're looking to start losing weight, I'd love to hear from you in the comments. Remember, I'll link Lady MC's channel below if you'd like to see what she's doing on her journey. And if you have any ideas, if you think that my channel title should change because I'm switching my focus a little bit, it's just really hard after Hurricane Ida There's no judgment here. It's just that after seeing so many people lose so many things and be without basic fundamentals of life, it is, people still living in tents and trailers outside devastated homes. It's really hard for me to spend $50 on a pallet. I am not judging people who can. For me, I look at it and once upon a time I would have just bought it. And now I'm like, I can't pull the trigger as easily as I once could because I just keep thinking of what that could be. That could be $50 in groceries for somebody who doesn't have it. That could be somebody putting that money towards repairing their home that's in disrepair, that doesn't have insurance. And I'd rather spend my extra money right now helping those who are still rebuilding than to buy things that aren't necessities. That doesn't mean I'm always going to feel that way. I am definitely replacing things that I'm running out of. I'm still trying to keep myself up. I just feel like I have a different focus. So my channel will include all of those things. It will include makeup that I love. It will include skincare that's working for me. But it's also going to include some very interesting topics. How do we leave a legacy for our children? How do we face empty nesting? How do we tackle menopause issues? How do we live longer and healthier and keep ourselves young at heart and young in mind? How do we sleep better? Things that affect our health, our longevity of life, and our quality of life. So hopefully those topics will be just as beneficial to you as anything that I ever shared about makeup. So that brings a little challenge. I'd like all of you to put a comment down below and let me know if you think I should change the name of my channel. Maybe Living Our Best Life Over 50, or something to do with living our best life instead of About Face with Mona. You think I should keep it the same. And I hope that you're excited about the new direction that the channel is going in. Last thing is, if you're still here, I am starting a Facebook group. So I'd like all of you to join me on Facebook at Mona Martinez Baggett. That's also written in the description. That page is not available yet, but it is being created. So what I'm creating is a Facebook page where we can all interact on how to live our best lives after 50. We're going to talk in depth about dieting. Anybody who wants to join me on this intermittent fasting journey and want to talk about what's working, what's not working, or other ways that we're staying healthy, supplements, what exercises we're doing to live our best life, to stay as healthy and energetic and engaged and powerful and impactful as we can once we reach these years. I hope you'll join me on Facebook. I do post things about my family there and my life, obviously, but shortly around New Year's, we're going to be launching the page that I'm working on now, that I'm building, all about living our best lives over 50, with a strong emphasis on my intermittent fasting journey. Until next time, go out and live like Mel.